Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Ashley Aaliyah. Here I analyze and discuss the fashion of celebrities and anyone influential. So you guys told me that you would like to see more diversity in the artists and people who are being featured. This is a YouTube suggestion, and this is Jada Kingdom. Now, I appreciate you guys suggesting people to me because, I think the point of these videos and this dialogue is to educate. And I don't know everything, and I don't know everybody. So I am really appreciative, honestly, truly from the bottom of my heart, when you guys take the time to type in the comments and tell me who you guys want to see me speak on. So I have to be honest, when I looked at Jada's style, I did a combination of research on her Instagram page, Google, and Pinterest. And I just could not get a real gauge on what her fashion is. Now, she is Jamaican, but I didn't get like a real direction from her. Her style kind of seems all over the place and also inconsistent. And it seems as though she went through two different types of body changes, where at one point she was a bit more petite, which, and I'm saying this for the reasons of you're styled differently. You will style a petite body differently than you would with somebody that is stacked. So it seems like she's a little bit more stacked now, and the body's a bit more womanly in that regard. And so it seems like her style is inconsistent and kind of all over the place. I also couldn't get a good grasp on the direction of like the hair or like what was really going on with her. So, so that would have to be like my first call out of like whoever is styling her. I don't know. I think there is some type of disconnect when non-US artists start to market to the US fan base. And I think that the people who style them, instead of giving them focus, kind of bounce them all over the place when it comes to fashion. And I've been seeing that with the few artists that I've did style videos on, of course, from you guys' suggestion, that it doesn't seem like the stylists are doing a great job at focusing these artists. They're, again, all over the place. And I would say that's a bit unfortunate because even when it comes to U.S. artists, maybe not so much with these new ones because we all know the stylists are just dropping the ball completely. But when it comes to like the traditional type of U.S. stylists, like the traditional formulation, it's usually the first step in the fashion is getting them in a lane or direction. And I think it's a disservice to not do that same structure with the non-US artists who are coming over here and gaining extreme success. Because yes, the music is one thing, but we all know that it's a lot of different things that play a factor in building someone's likability and popularity and things like that. So I think that I would love to see a lot more of these girls in the fashion lane, having articles written about them in Vogue or, different fashion platforms, being invited to the Met Gala and things like that. We know Tyler was there last year. I know she's not a Jamaican artist. I'm just using just in general artists who are not from the U.S. that I think I would love to see more diversity. Black is like a spectrum. And I would love to see different versions of Black in more of these fashion spaces. And I think the start of that is by taking their style a lot more serious and curating more structured looks in hair, makeup, and fashion so that fashion platforms have something to follow. For Jada mood board for hair, I would love to see Keyshia Ka'Oir on it. Keyshia is Jamaican and so is Jada, so I wanted to have some Caribbean influence in her style in some capacity. And I think Keyshia is perfect simply because, in my opinion, when I looked at all the photos of Jada hair, I think the best hairstyle she's had that made her stand out the most, that had so much sex appeal, was that short black cut that she had. And it wasn't exactly a pixie, but it was short and it had volume. And I think oftentimes, I'm going to go a little bit off a little bit, but when it comes to Black and fashion, I think African Americans think that we are the only ones that have something to contribute. Sometimes, not all of us, but some of us think that. And I think we forget how there are so many different variations of Black and how all our different cultures have something to contribute. Now, I'm saying all this to say that Keyshia revolutionized short hair with this cut. It was such a time, and it was done in such a Caribbean girl way. Like, of course, the African American girls had their shortcuts and had the creativity and things like that. But I feel like a Khalees and Total, Monica, Nia Long, Halle Berry-esque type of shortcut was very different than a Keyshia's, where I feel like Keyshia, she had the shortcut, but it had so much flair to it. Like, it was done in so many different ways, so many different colors. It's like it was short, but then it had some length, and then it had volume, and then it was fun. And it was just, we didn't see anybody doing it the same way that she was doing it. And the way this hairstyle just swept the streets and everybody started getting it, and how she just always looked good in different variations of a shortcut, I think it had to give such a nod to, like I said, her Caribbean Jamaican roots. Because like I said, we weren't doing the shortcuts like that. And we seen her, I think it might have been Drake video or Rick Ross video. It was one of them that we seen her in. We was like, who is that girl? I want to say it was a Drake and Cash Money video when I first seen her. And we was just like, oh my God. Then she was in Timberland Say Something video. But it was just, she was beautiful. And the hair was given. It was very different than what all the other girls were doing. And I think something like this would do wonders for Jada, because we already know she's not afraid to go short. And I think having hair, like, I will want to see an updated version of this hairstyle. Like, I would want the hairstylist to get out the booth and come get in the field and get them shares and them clippers to work and, create something. Because I feel like this is what the game is missing. It's like, again, fashion is amazing, but it's not just the fashion. It's everything. A signature hairstyle can do wonders for a person's career and take them so far. And I just feel like Jada channeling like Keyshia and with the hair and just like the shortcuts, because especially during the time where everybody's obsessed with wigs and long hair, I just feel like this will really shake the game up. For Jada's fashion mood board, I would love to see Gloria Velez. Now, follow me, because this is really how I know who's really going to be a fashion girly and who's really not. Now, when I looked at Jada's style, although it felt all over the place, the looks that I enjoyed the most from her is when she fully embraced her full sex appeal and showed off her body and shape. Now, do I agree in the industry that I would love to see some girls in more clothes and covered and X, Y, and Z? Absolutely. But that's because a lot of the girls don't have natural sex appeal, and a lot of the girls don't have the range to pull off some of the stuff they be trying to do. Now, when it comes to Jada, I think she has a lot of sex appeal, and I feel like it would be a disservice to her and her image not to channel that. Gloria Velez, people can have whatever opinions that they want to have about her personal choices and stuff, but Gloria Velez is a bad bitch, aesthetic-wise. And if you are into rap and hip-hop culture and a love of music videos like I was growing up, then you've seen Gloria Velez at her peak and prime. Now, I'm not saying that I would like Jada to have these exact outfits, but what I'm saying is I would love to see an updated version of this, but I would also love to see her fully 100% own her sex appeal like Gloria Velez did. Like, Gloria was just so sexy effortlessly. And I don't feel like we see this anymore. I feel like we have the girls who attempt and try, but miss the mark. Like, for example, love Meg down, but because the fashion doesn't always hit, sometimes the marker can get moved if she properly has executed a sexy look. I also feel like, and the girls may want to get a little upset for this, I feel like the natural sex appeal that Jada has, Normani would sell her left leg for, because I feel like Normani is someone who desperately tries to get in this type of lane, attitude-wise and occasionally fashion-wise. And for anybody that wants to argue with me, she literally opened Wild Side video up with her slapping her cat. And by cat, y'all know what I mean. But I feel like Normani is someone who doesn't have the range for it. But I think Jada fully has the range for it. And I just would love to see her just 100% channel and own that sex appeal, because the face is beautiful. The body is amazing. Again, it's so shapely and womanly. Like, I feel like we don't really get to see that anymore. And I feel like in rap or R&B music period, when it comes to Black artists, I feel like no one actually looks like the categories that they're in anymore. Everybody's trying to look like something else. But I feel like if you're a Jamaican artist, I don't know what an artist is, an artist, I feel like Jamaican women, Caribbean women, period, come with a level of sex appeal. And I say that in the most respectful way possible, not in the sense of like trying to over-sexualize women at all. I don't think sex appeal is necessarily a negative thing. I don't think sexy clothes is necessarily a negative thing, but I feel like they have kind of turned that into that, like some type of taboo. Like, if you channel your sex appeal, then somehow you are deserving of less respect, whatever. Sound like it has men written all over it. But anyway, I would just love to see Jada's style. Again, a very updated version of this, and not necessarily the same type of clothing, but that standout star type of quality when you are amongst hundreds. Because, again, she was a video vixen, Gloria was. So to manage to stand out as the baddest bitch around in a music video where you don't even have words to say. All you have is your face, your body, your outfit, and if you can dance to speak for you. And the fact that she was able to stand out in that capacity is amazing. The fact that she has some of the most iconic video vixen roles, like we all know she was in Big Pimpin' video, in the scenes with Pimp C. And I think another iconic role she had was What These Bitches Want, with DMX and Cisco. And she was just sitting on top of Cisco while he was singing and doing all that. And that was just so fly. Like, to me, I don't know what remix version they have of a baddie now, but to me, that was like peak bad bitch. Like, I don't think someone is just naturally cute or whatever because they're not black. But I feel like when they came down to making Hispanic girlies, God went off when he made Gloria Velez. And again, I'm talking about her influence in fashion, hip-hop culture, and things like that. I'm not really speaking about her personal choices. For her makeup, I would love for Sofía Vergara to be on Jada's mood board. Now, hear me out again. This video is for people who can really see vision. For her makeup, Sofía is just bad, especially like 90s. When I say Sofía, I mean a young Sofía, like 90s. She does this thing where she's so effortlessly sexy, beautiful, just like breathtaking. And it's a specific thing that's done with her makeup where they kind of bold out the brows in a soft type of way. They smoke out her eyes, but not like in a traditional smoky eye, like just with like liner to give it like a seductive feel. And she has this beautiful breathable skin where you only get like a kiss of blush on the cheeks. And the lips is where the action really happens. They line her lips, but it's not in the same way. It's not as bold as it's done now. And then they select very specific colors to go on her lips, like nudes or soft pinks that are like more grown and sexy than more like, look, y'all, I'm wearing pink lipstick. But it's really the nude and those metallic type nude lipsticks that they put on her that really adds to that bit of sex appeal. And that's why I would love to see this glam on Jada, because I think A black girl version of this would be fire, because we don't really see it because everybody is like so overly done. But I think with the shortcut hair that I want her to have, which is both Caribbean, sexy, current, especially she can get a stylist who can update it. I think that, sorry for the noise in the background, y'all. And if we can get her in that Gloria Velez type of fashion, if you will, and if we can get this type of Sofía type of makeup look on her that just highlights all the best features of Jada's face while just giving like that natural sexiness to it, I think we would have a banger for the look. So that concludes my video on how I would style Jada Kingdom if she were my client. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next episode.